Coach, on a night where number one in the country gets beat by 30 and Kentucky loses at Georgia, Auburn had a tough game. You get a double-digit road win in a tough place. I mean, what's this one mean for you to be able to come in this environment and win this game the way you did?
I mean, in history of college basketball, everybody talks about how hard it is to win on the road. And I'd imagine before it's over this year, it's going to be extremely difficult because of the quality of the teams that are in this league right now, and the coaches and the programs and the players. And I don't know anything about scores, etc. But all I know is, we're focused on this game, and they had our utmost attention. And obviously, we got the game plan into the game early, and then they just showed their competitive toughness and wouldn't go away and kept fighting and scratching and clawing. And if it wasn't for that shot Claudell Harris made, who knows what happens down the stretch. But proud of our guys for staying together and sticking with it, and figuring out a way to win.
Questions? We'll go to this gentleman over here to the left.
You guys are obviously 14-1, but only 2 league games. You got 4 ranked games ahead. Just how much do you feel like you know about your team at this point? How much are you still waiting to find out?
Yeah, we're still learning. I'm still learning. I'm not sure. We're getting more and more comfortable with who we are, and we flipped our starting rotation for the first 9 or 10 games on the regular every single game, and we've settled in the last 4, I think, with the same lineup, which kind of gives people more of a comfort level of knowing when they're going to the game and who they're going to play. But we're definitely still trying to get a feel and figure out exactly where we need to move people around. But we're getting better at that, like, in terms of understanding our parts and our pieces and how they work together. But in terms of the next 4 games, it's a cliche, but that's all we do is we just focus on the next one and treat it like a Super Bowl, and we'll do that for this one coming Saturday.
Go ahead, Rob.
You talk about that Claudell shot, and they had all the momentum at that point. The crowd was in it. You come out of the timeout, and he knocks that one down with a hand in his face. Is that how you drew it up in the timeout?
Heck no. That was talent. That was experienced talent, trust in the stroke, all the time in the gym when nobody's watching. Had nothing to do with us. It had everything to do with him, and like I said, his experience and talent, and he shot it with great confidence, and it was a big one. I thought the play where Cam Matthews, we end up having the ball and the turnover, and he kind of fumbled it, and if we had completed that, I don't know if it would have got there, but it did, and then when after Claudell hit the shot, if I'm not mistaken, we got to stop and score it again and end up getting it to 10, and we're able to close it out.
Questions? Go ahead.
What did Vanderbilt do late there to cut it to 5 before the Harris shot?
Yeah, they just came out, swinging there. Not so much early, but more like after the first media. We got it up to 22. I'm not sure exact time, and then they just had a resolve about them. They, we knew they were very physical on the ball defensively. We knew they would challenge us, turnover-wise, and they gave us fits at times. They got us out of rhythm offensively. We had a bunch of really bad possessions in a row. The rebounding became an issue for us. At halftime it was very, very close. I felt good about where we were at, and then the second half they just beat us on the offensive backboards. We had way too many turnovers, which caused runouts, allowed their fans to get in the game. But Coach Byington's done a tremendous job, coming out of the gate first year. All new team for the most part, and what they've done thus far has been very impressive, and they were very impressive on tape. We knew we'd have to beat them. That's what we kept talking about in our timeouts. Like, they're not going away. Don't hope, don't hold on. Go take it from them. Keep playing, keep being aggressive. In the end, we were able to do that.
Other questions for Coach? Go back to Robbie.
You've been really high on this talent and depth from the very beginning, but I mean, Kugel has a tough night. Hubbard, first single-digit scoring game. I mean, what does this say about your group that you're able to overcome that and get a road win when 2 of your best scorers are kind of struggling like that?
Yeah, Riley just couldn't get it going, for whatever reason. And then Hub, like you said, he's been very consistent for us for the majority of the year, the majority of his career. And I don't love it that we had any individuals that didn't play their best, but that's going to happen over the course of the season. And we're just more built to handle it. We just got other guys that can take the slack up when those situations arise. And certainly as a coach, it makes you feel really good about the team. That's the one thing about these guys is they like each other, but they hold each other accountable too. It's not just us as coaches, having to do that. They'll call each other out in a really good way, in a respectful way. In this day and age, when you have that, it gives yourself a chance to be successful.
Go back to the gentleman on the left. We got time for a couple more.
I know you have a close relationship with Paul Grindstaff. Obviously, he works here. What can you tell us about him and just kind of the factor that he was for your program?
Yeah, I didn't have that on the bingo card. I'm talking about Paul Grindstaff, but yeah, he's a great man. Him and Monica, got to know them the last few years, and we've developed a nice relationship. And he's a smart guy. He's a hard worker. He's gonna do a heck of a job. I'm happy for him and his family. I'm, like looking at him, going, boy, he's gonna elevate, their athletic program. And it was a heck of a hire for Vanderbilt University for sure.
Go ahead, Rob.
RJ and Cam are obviously different kind of players, but it seems like they bring a lot of the same intensity to your team. They do a lot of the dirty work for you. And tonight, RJ really picked up, some players that were struggling, and he got you out of a hole a little bit late in the second half. What can you say about what he's added to this team?
I just love where he's at. I mean, he is playing how I envision him playing for us, with just being a versatile forward that can do a little bit of everything. He's pretty darn athletic. He showed it a couple times tonight. He glides up the court. He's got a beautiful stroke, and he's gotten a little more nastier, if you will, with the other things. Just being more prideful on the ball. Getting on the glass and getting first to the floor. He's got a lot of confidence in himself right now. We have a lot of confidence in him, and like you said, he does it in a different way, but they're similar because they're stat sheet stuffers a lot of nights, and they're both so versatile defensively, so you can really have fun with that in terms of matchups coming out of timeouts.
Anything else for Coach? Robbie, wrap us up.
Especially late in the game, you could hear a loud contingent of state fans there. I know there's a pretty big alumni base here in Nashville. What's that mean to you to see, and to the players too, to see, the crowd like that in a visiting
We talked
arena?
about it before we went out, after their starting lineups, that we've had some success on the road already at Memphis and at SMU. And this was our first opportunity in the league, and just like the Memphis game, there was enough people in this building that if we played well enough, we'd be able to hear them. And certainly, those folks that made the trip and even the ones that are from this area to come out and support us, it makes a big difference. It does. And certainly at the end, it was really cool to hear them and feel them, and we certainly appreciate them coming. But I do want to congratulate you on the award that you won, and that's pretty cool. And I just did the same with Neil Price, and so we got some stars covering the maroon and white. Thank you. Hail State.